Okay.
All
Looks like we're
right.
live. A little bit late tonight, but we are
Fashionably so.
fashionably so. Exactly. As you can see, we've got a different background up tonight in honor of the launch of Baldur's Gate 3. We will be streaming that on Saturday,
That's
likely in
right.
the afternoon. So that's going to be a lot of fun. My dog is acting a little wily right now, so we'll see how this goes. But looks like we already got some chats.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's see what's going on. Bottle cap. Okay, really dumb question. Will your RPG be Conan-esque, a sword and sorcery type world? Imagine natives in an alternate world.
To be determined, probably leaning more towards, definitely leaning towards a low fantasy, or at the very least, a fantasy setting where magic is, in fact, magical, dangerous, unique, and
Scary,
rare.
even.
Scary, even. Not ubiquitous. Not Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Not
Which,
a yes.
we're not going to shit on Baldur's Gate 3 because it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to play.
There'll be plenty to shit on, no doubt, in the game
While we play. Yeah.
while we're playing, and we will.
Yeah.
But it does look like Larian did an excellent job.
Yeah. It runs super, super well. I mean, I've got a good PC now, but it's like really well optimized. I'm way over 100 frames per second at 1440p. It looks fucking amazing.
Nice.
I've only played it for like 5 minutes. I created my character, Sir Traddington the Based, who's a human paladin who will be only interacting with people based on whether or not they pass the physiognomy check.
Exactly, and rightly so. Yeah, a paladin of humans and for humans.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, to answer your question a little bit further,
which is not a dumb question. Any question about our products is not dumb at all.
It's not dumb. No. Yeah. So in terms of games, though, like longer term, we do have a fantasy game setting that Nick is cooking up right now. I have a more kind of a light science fiction setting that if you were a follower of this channel 10 years ago, it was actually the one shot where Nick and I met each other. It was a homebrewed setting one shot that I ran for a con that was called Crypto Locker. That has like some light elements of transhumanism and some interesting stuff to it. So those are very long term though. Those are not coming down the pipe for quite a while. The gods could be aliens slash super intelligences, but that may hit too close to home after those recent UAP hearings. Yeah, I can't decide if that's a psyop or not.
I think it is, because if there were some, I don't remember who, someone on Twitter rightfully said, if there really were aliens, these people would have been Epsteined if they were really going to say something, and if there's not, this is just an opportunity to divert attention.
Yeah, you see, my thing
there's no way that they would, if there was something to be hidden, that they would not to this level of import, that they would be allowed to share that with the media.
See, that's what my gut says, but I'm put in the very odd position of having to either believe something that seems like an obvious psyop or believe an official denial by the Pentagon. Like the Pentagon has denied it, so I'm like, wait.
Yeah, wait. Hold on. Are they really playing 4D chess?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm not sorry for hogging up the chat, but can we submit monster ideas / mechanics? You can. We're not going to stop you, but I don't know. We've got one thing we're working on, like actively working on right now. That is going to be probably not influenced by the chat, but future stuff, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
The game designers could be aliens. Resemblance to Mr. Pink and Reservoir Dogs is astonishing.
That's true. That's right.
Max is here. We can
Indeed.
start.
All right.
Yeah, we have started, and we waited for you. Do I hear strains of Hail to the Chief playing in the background? Must be in reference to this. Reservoir Dogs does have an amazing soundtrack, but that goes for every Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
But I will say Reservoir Dogs in particular has a just fucking amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
Mr. Pink is better than the bug from MIB, our favorite YouTuber at Crapphone. Mr. Pink is the man.
That's right.
Hello, Primeval Fantasy RPG.
Hey.
Please don't reprise the DCC Magic Mishaps tables. Please do a new mechanic. Noted.
Noted.
Yeah, I know that's like a mechanic. It's like, isn't it like every time you cast a spell, there's like a chance that
so every single spell has its own mishap table, which is kind of interesting. It makes each spell kind of unique, but it's also incredibly burdensome. I feel like it's more of a gimmick. You know, it's probably fun the first time you play, the first, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 sessions, and then that would just be a pain in the ass for me to, okay, let's flip to page 312 to find the thing.
Well, that's really unfortunate because if you're not playing rules as written, you will be executed. 100% a psyop. Yeah. I mean, it probably is, but again, it's the fact that the Pentagon denied it. Doodle Squatch. All right. It looks like we have a consensus in the chat.
All right.
This is, it's definitely a psyop.
Yeah.
Do the math. Aliens aren't coming. Or they were here a long time ago.
Ooh.
They want us to fund their psyop, claiming we will get cool tech. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It'll be like the aliens are here, but you you need to pay more in taxes.
Yeah.
Weapons of mass distraction. Crapphone, when aliens learned of the woke, they realized there was no intelligent life on Earth.
True.
Yeah, definitely possible. Yeah, so anyway, Basic Expert was nice enough to send over a copy of the PDF for Macuahuitl, which we're pretty excited to look at. I've looked at it for about 10 minutes, just like skimming through it. I don't think Nick has looked at it at all.
So I have not looked at it at all.
Yeah, when we say that this literally is a first look, it is. Aliens equals demons. Possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there probably are aliens, but, you know, faster than light travel, I'm not sure it works.
What was the name of that movie that was it Dark Side of the Moon? I don't remember. It was it was a sci-fi movie. It wasn't Event Horizon, but there was a distress call, another spaceship. The long and the short of it, the Bermuda Triangle, that triangular region which intersects with Earth at that place. It's like a ray that goes out through space, and anything in that ray is essentially hell in this world. So it has who was it who played Tyrell in Blade Runner, like Joe Turkington or something. I don't remember what his name is.
In the new Blade Runner, right?
No, the old Blade Runner.
The old one. Oh, God, I don't remember.
Anyway, regardless, look him up on IMDb. Good movie.
I don't think I've heard of this movie. Oh, the Basic Mexican wrote the game. No use for that anti-Semite young splainer. Here's the thing. The Basic Expert is not an anti-Semite. That's a ridiculous claim.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely ridiculous.
That whole exchange was
extremely insane and cringe.
Extremely insane and cringe.
Oh, joy. It's L. Who let you out? I don't know who that is. Yeah, we generally we don't screech about other people on this stream, and we actually like the Basic Expert a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's a cool dude, and we're gonna see what he's cooked up. I was
Yeah.
really excited for this. As soon as I saw he was marketing this game of his, I definitely will be picking it up.
Oh
Or
yeah,
definitely gonna be backing the Kickstarter
for
when it
sure.
goes live.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna because I think he said that he's doing a it will be print on demand, so you'll be able to get it at like Drive Through RPG.
Right, right,
Actually,
right.
I want to go back to this comment for a second. The basic Mexican, and then he's like, but he's an anti-Semite. He's racist. Like, pick one, man. uh,
He might
um,
be trolling us.
he might be. Who knows?
Yeah.
But again, Crafty says,
Which
"Oh,
case,
Joy,
good
it's
on you.
L who let you out." So I tend to trust Crafty's judge of character. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So he's going to do a Kickstarter for like a premium version of this that'll do an offset print run. So it'll be like stitched binding. It'll have the ribbon in it, which is awesome. I absolutely love that. I've actually got
Oh yeah.
right here.
Oh,
I picked
nice.
up Old School Essentials.
Very cool.
At the recommendation of Crossface. So I assume that it's going to be of similar quality to this, which is excellent. And as we'll see as we go through, the layout in OSE is very, very nice. Definitely Crossface is right. It Shadow Dark took a page from this book, so to speak, in terms of its how it's laid out. And Basic Expert's book is also similarly wonderfully laid out.
Yeah, I mean, if you do it right, why change it?
Right. And let's see here. Black Lodge Games, you will soon learn that L lives up to his name. He's a loser who does not add anything to your audience. Okay, well, we don't like barnacles. But I'm sure we'll find out on our own. Yeah, but I've been reading a little bit of Old School Essentials. I haven't had a whole hell of a lot of time to go through it. Some of the art is really good. Like I love the old black and white style art where like the player characters are just victims.
Right.
Like they're the adventurers. They're all getting like eaten by like acid monsters and
right,
and everything, which is awesome. And that's one of the reasons that I was really attracted to Shadow Dark when I backed it was because the art in that book is so good. Like so good, and it blows Old School Essentials out of the water. OSC also has someone mentioned that it's got like a Cal Arts style. I think on our last stream.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like some of the color splash pages.
Is that the case?
Yes. Not all of them, but some of them. I'm like, ooh. Let me see if I can find one. No, that one's relatively good. It's not all bad. But some of it, I was just like, why is this in here? Does not fit with the rest of the book. It'll be hard to show on camera anyway. Excuse me. Yeah, but anyway, I guess with that we can kind of
check it out. Yeah,
check it out. Like Steve Brule. Let's see here. Share screen. Macuahuitl PDF. Cool. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, so already, one of the things I like about this book is the cover. I like this.
I do like that. Although I wish it was a black background, like the promo
the mock-up for the premium edition.
Yeah, or at least something other than stark white. I'm not feeling the stark white, but that sigil, I don't know if that's like actually the representation of the Mayan, whatever that archaeological thing is, the Mayan calendar, whatever the hell. But it looks cool as hell. Yeah.
Let's go through here. Yeah, and so one of the great things, one of the things we've said multiple times when talking about what can make or break a game is the art in the book. And if you are someone like the Basic Expert who is an artist, you'll see that the entire thing is done by him, and so it has a consistent style, which is awesome. We love that. And so in terms of the mechanics, Utilizes the traditional polyhedral dice that many are accustomed to. However, the primary focus of the game will revolve around the D6 and the D20. So this is Whitebox, which
Okay.
I believe is like that's OD&D, right? That's like original.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where in the initial primordial stage white box came out as opposed to
Mhm.
brown box or whatever, but yeah, it's OD&D.
Okay. And if we're wrong, people will be screeching in the chat, I'm sure. But you
Hmm.
just roll 3d6 down the line, and you have social status and followers,
Okay.
ability score modifiers. Wow. Modifiers are very low in this game.
Yeah. -1 or +1.
Damn. Hit points represent the amount of damage a character can withstand. This is all pretty standard. Alignment.
I'm curious about this. You had mentioned some sort of zodiac or astrological inspiration to this.
I think so. Like I said, this is a first look. We haven't actually read it.
Mm-hmm.
As the survival of the Mexica people depended on the sun, going against the established social norms and challenging the status quo was not only deemed taboo, but also highly
Mm-hmm.
perilous and heretical. When the 52-year cycle of years ended, based on the ritual 260-day calendar called I'm not going to even try that.
Yeah.
It was a time of renewal. The Aztec people understood that if what was required of them was not performed, ritual human sacrifice to the gods, the world of Macuahuitl, their world, would end. The Mexica people saw themselves as stewards of the current age. They were chosen by the gods to revere them and thus keep the ongoing cycle of life so that others may live. Obviously, this came with the brutality and blood of ritualistic human sacrifices. So this is the
Mm-hmm.
cool thing. You're playing these guys. these are not like the bad guys, the villains, the antagonists. You actually get to play as the Aztecs. And from the little that I have looked over this, and I think we had talked to Mr. Max on our last live stream talking about the XP system. XP, I think, comes from the number of slaves that you take during combat. So this is a much more adult game, and not in the we're so edgy
So edgy,
sense.
yeah.
No, but an adult game in that it takes a very real historical period with people that had really, really crazy beliefs and did
Yeah.
very, very brutal things, and presents it as it was. Obviously, there's fantasy elements to this,
Yeah.
but
You're actually playing through. I mean, this alone, you are playing an a truly, what would you say, a truly like alien morality system
yeah,
to all the um fluff and flowery words about respecting other cultures and what have you. They're very, very different and often exceptionally brutal.
right. And the cool thing is that, like, and we said this about the Red Room with a lot of their content.
Mm.
It's just assumed that you are an adult and that you can
Sure.
handle this. There's no safety tools, obviously. Basic Expert wouldn't be putting safety tools in his games to begin with.
Hell
But
no.
it's dark subject matter, and this is the kind of game, at least as I see it, that kind of used to be made, where you could use things that are of a very
Make of it what you will.
yeah.
Here it is for you to use or not use. Um, it's right here at the beginning. You can buy the game. I don't know if there's going to be if there is or will be a free a quick start or what have you. Probably not. But yeah. First of all, no kid is going to buy this. I feel like the hobby is almost exclusively at this point. Certainly, the OSR space is only for
Elder
30 plus
millennials
dudes.
and
Yeah, older millennials and up.
and Curator, and that's
Exactly.
it. Which, by the way, Curator, apparently his game's going really well. I haven't checked out his Substack yet.
Who's
but
that?
the Curator, he's so we follow him on
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah.
Ryan starts with an H. I've seen him in a couple of other streams, but
Yeah,
he's the
I know
one
who
who's
you're
running
talking
like
about.
this Broasar style, like Bronstein and
Mm.
Yoon Soon, I think is the Yoon Soon.
Oh yeah. I'm aware of that game, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
not aware
they've
of the
got
details.
like 30 players or something like that. They're using Old
Jeez,
School Essentials as the
that
it
sounds
might be
like
more than that. It
hell.
might be 50. I know it sounds like hell to us. But the thing that I like and respect about this is that this kid is already I think in his early 20s.
Oh
He's
wow,
already publishing his own scenarios.
that's awesome.
And he was like, this style of game sounds fucking awesome. And I want to do it. And so he just went out and for like months has been putting together this campaign and overnight had like a ton of interest in it.
Damn.
So this is the type of person who's like putting his money where his mouth is and
Yeah, gotta
really
respect
like
that.
pushing like pushing way past his boundaries and abilities as a DM because he's never run a game of this size. I think they've got like 3 GMs. So it's like I am 100% behind
Yeah,
him.
I'm down for it.
But that aside, so yeah, it looks like alignment is on the law chaos axis, no good or evil.
Mhm.
Thank you, I like that. The Mexica people place great significance on the orientation of the heavens and its symbolic meaning. Generals sought the council of priests to ascertain the most auspicious time to engage in warfare. Farmers looked to the heavens for guidance on the ideal timing for planting crops. Parents turned their gaze skyward when a child was born, seeking celestial signs that would unveil the fate destined for their newborn.
Hmm.
Players are also required to roll to determine the celestial blessings or curses bestowed upon their character. Love that.
Yeah.
Uh, this is actually something that I really do. So we've said many times we are not like OSR guys, but something I really do like about the old school games a lot more than the newer games is all of the random elements to character generation.
Yeah,
Um,
and the creativity, like using astrology,
yeah.
the zodiac. That's not um that's not an OSR thing per se. It's just something new and creative. It's a
Oh
way
yeah.
to, which you're not seeing, certainly not in the main published game products these days.
Right. But I'm more referring just to the mechanic of like this is determining your background randomly as opposed
Oh,
to
sure.
coming up with it on your own.
Yes.
Which is fine. I still like doing that in games, but it has been very fun to it's like roll up a bunch of different random elements and then play it,
Yeah.
see where the chips fall.
Mhm.
Um, through the roll of the dice, players will ascertain whether their character's birthday falls on a blessed or cursed day of
Nice.
the Tricana. I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't read
Yeah.
other languages.
The different
Uh,
phases of the calendar.
yeah, the character must then accept his accompanying boons or suffer the consequences of the banes. However, there is some leeway for players to manipulate these outcomes. Parents had the option to delay naming their child by up to 4 days, seeking a more
Mm.
auspicious day to shield their newborn from potential misfortune. Similarly, players can exercise this option for their characters. To determine a character's zodiac, the player rolls a d20 for the day vertically and a d20 for the phase horizontally. So I'm sure there's a table here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you'd have to
Okay.
flip the book. Move my head here. Interesting. Player
Can you
has the
just
choice
flip
to
this
embrace the
page?
misfortune. Can I?
Like rotate the page? Yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to rotate it back though. Player might choose to wait for 4 days until the third day of the next Tricana or Trisena, I don't know, which
Mm.
is Mazatl, which is
You're
day
definitely
1.
gonna need to use
Yeah,
the pronunciation chart to
yeah,
play this
which there
game.
is,
There
thankfully.
is. I
There
saw that.
is,
Yeah.
thankfully. And also another thing, if we'll go to the pronunciation chart now. Another wonderful thing about this PDF is that it is linked.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can come to this table of contents
Yeah.
and then click. Where is the goddamn?
We'd already passed it. It's towards the top.
Let me know.
How
Here
to
we go. How
pronounce?
to pronounce words. Boom. If you make a PDF and it's not linked to the table of contents,
Yeah.
you deserve to be in Gitmo. That's all there is to it. There is no excuse. Vowels. Okay, we're not going to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little too long. But I do like this. So you have all the different effects of here. Like this first one, those born under this sign are said to have happy and lucky lives. A character born under this sign is blessed with great fortune, and therefore this character's saving throws gain a +1 bonus.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you go through all of these, like all of the bonuses are and modifiers are really small. So like a -2, this has to be like really bad. This is an unlucky period. Those born under the sign are said to be liars and deceivers. -2 to the character's charisma score to a minimum score of 3. That's to your charisma score.
Yeah. Damn.
This is a very lucky period, particularly for merchants. Those born under the sign have an extra D6 when rolling for starting status points. I love this.
Yeah, this is fantastic. If I were running this game, I would not allow players to shift their naming day to a more like, no, you get what the dice you get what star you were born under.
Me too.
The dice say.
Characters in Macuahuitl gain experience points through gameplay. In this game, they are referred to as status points. These points are used to increase the character's level in their chosen class or profession. Unlike traditional old school games, gold is not utilized for character advancement. We love that.
Yep.
The accumulation of status points for advancement purposes is relatively smaller. Bravery was highly valued among Aztec warriors, as the Mexica people were known for their warrior culture. Thus, risky and dangerous actions are encouraged and rewarded in Macuahuitl. The mechanics of distributing status points will be explained later. That sounds awesome, though.
I do like that. If the experience point is basically, it allows for GM interpretation when your character has done something bold, heroic, courageous.
Yeah.
I like that a lot better. It encourages an attitude which is in keeping with the setting that's being the spirit of the game. And what your character's culture, your character's upbringing, what your character should in fact believe.
Right. That's the thing about gold for XP. Also, is that it is a player incentive. It very much encourages like a lot of risk reward calculus. Because it's like you want to be conservative to a certain amount because these games are so deadly, but you do need to take a certain amount of risks, and it does make it so it's not just a kill all the monsters. Like you have to. It makes people like more resourceful. I get that, but thematically that doesn't really speak to me. This does though. This whole thing of like the values of the society are like extreme acts of bravery and heroism, as through the lens of of this culture,
right?
And you get rewarded for that. And so this is like this is a system that is like kind of rewarding it's rewarding role play. Yeah. And we're big fans of that. And I really like this is cool. Picture. And I think this weapon is the Macuahuitl. I could be completely wrong about that, though.
I believe you are correct.
I like this simple character sheet. You can read everything. The font is of a nice size. You've got you got your little attack matrix here, so you don't have to.
It is easy. I do wish the font was like, other than Arial or whatever this is, like Calibri or whatever, I do wish I like a little bit of a flair.
Bad font, 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
Do not buy this game.
Game is trash.
Yeah.
But I get why it's done.
Yeah. So we have an attack matrix here, and since this is Whitebox, it is going to be descending AC, which I'm not a fan of, but
no. But
but I would be much better with an attack matrix than Thaco. Thaco is just so annoying. It just doesn't make sense conceptually. It's not the arithmetic. I just hate it.
Yeah, it's easy to do. It's just more. It's needlessly convoluted.
Yes, I also really like this is black and red the entire way.
Yeah.
Because it's like oozing blood the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's about, right?
Yeah. All right, so let's check out the classes. Ooh, a note about female characters. This is going to be good. In Aztec society, women were not considered equal to men.
Oh, based.
While this historical accuracy may not align with the contemporary values, Macuahuitl aims for a heightened mythical portrayal while maintaining some level of historical accuracy. Consequently, the majority of the characters will be male. However, women could potentially assume different classes, such as the Poteca or Nahuali, as female priestesses were believed to possess a unique connection to the divine. It is important to note that historically, women did not participate as fighters or warriors on the battlefield. Referees and players have the flexibility to disregard this historical fact, but the game assumes a somewhat historically accurate approach within the established rules.
Nice.
And I do apologize for my stupid dog. Eagle Warriors. Prime attribute is dexterity. Okay, so this seems like fairly common barriers to entry for classes. I assume the rest of them are also going to be attribute score of 9. Weapon and armor restrictions. Eagle Warriors are trained for war and are skilled with all manner of weapons. They can wear cloth laminate armor. Anna, come here. Come here. Come here right now.
Sneak attack.
Oh my god.
Ambushes.
Eagle Warriors trained in stealth, survival, tracking, climbing, moving silently, trap detection, and other related skills as a scout. This is another thing that so this is still kind of following the same spirit of like dungeon crawling, but there is a chapter later on, or at least a section, called using the wilderness as the dungeon. So you're not necessarily going into an Aztec temple every single time or something. Like you're not going into the ziggurat.
Right.
The Jaguar Warrior. Fighters known for their combat prowess and distinctive jaguar skin battle dress, symbolizing their devotion to the god, something I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
Renowned for their bravery and ferocity, they were respected as some of the Aztec army's finest warriors.
Yes. These were the hero unit, I think, for the Aztecs in Age of Empires 2.
Nice.
So I do remember the Jaguar Warriors.
I'm going to pop over to the chat for a bit. I think we've got to catch up here.
Yes.
Okay. People overuse the term Cal art style, probably.
Probably, I would imagine so.
I'm putting my kiddo to bed. Thanks for showing this.
This off, guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah.
Glad to have you.
So far.
One moment.
Let's see if I can scroll up here. I do not have the ability to make the your chats come up on stream. Basic Expert says, still a draft of this. I'm sure more edits will come out. Most definitely. This is looking quite polished so far. More unpronounceable words will make you look better even. Calvaloni. Vanoni. For sure. Crafty Matt, Radiant Citadel, this game is not. Yes. No safety tools, no shaved edges. Unapologetic commitment to the setting. Adultish and can add alcohol. Very interesting.
Sorry, my dog has been cooped up inside because it's been over 100 degrees for like 30 straight days in Texas. So she's just wound up every night. I've still got more Aztecs to paint. Nice. Still a draft of this. I'm sure more edits will come about. Well, we haven't found any typos yet, so. More unpronounceable words will make you look even better. Very true. Radiant Citadel, this game is not.
Indeed.
I'm not familiar with it.
It's not worth knowing.
Adultish and can add alcohol. Man, the Dark Souls RPG has a section recommending the use of X cards. Oh, man. My heart just sank.
So, Mr. Max, I would love to get your take on the Dark Souls RPG. Not because I want to buy it, but I'm... especially not for that reason, but I may have said this elsewhere. The big thing that makes... One of the big things which makes Dark Souls interesting and evocative is the fact that it's a solo game, and you're alone by yourself in this deadly and oppressive world,
Mhm.
it feels to me like having a party dynamic in a Dark Souls RPG would completely kill that vibe. If the use of X cards didn't kill it already. Curious what your thoughts are. Yeah, very unfortunate.
That's too dark for my soul.
Mhm.
Bottle Cap responding to Cal. Cal, are you the one who drew this? I didn't do nothing. All right. Earth is a quarantine planet. The art style is on point.
Yeah.
It's really good. And like we said earlier, this is something we really like is when there's a unified art style. And so when you have one person doing all of the art, it's
Yeah.
awesome because it's guaranteed to be unified.
Mhm.
Not something I'm interested in. I prefer my Aztec cultures and RPGs to be lizard/snake people, the evil villains, or both. I respect the honest portrayal and might pick it up for the cultural info.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. You can make these characters use them as inspiration for antagonists.
Yeah.
If you want to make a game where you're the good guys.
Don't worry about the pronunciation. We won't.
Haven't and won't.
Yeah. I have lizard and snake people too, plus toad and frog people. The lizard people are in Congress and their stats are shit. Yeah, very low charisma.
Yeah.
One or two of them have extremely high charisma, but we won't name them at the moment. Nah, the shifting the day is thematic. Response to Nick, I believe, about not letting the players mess with the days. It's the day you're named, not the day you're born, and parents could wait to name their child.
I get it, but I also know the gamer mind. Like, oh, it's a bad day. I'm not gonna go for the bad one. Yeah, but then again,
but then again, that's the spirit of the parents as well.
I
like
do.
literally.
The culture should be edited for my preferences.
Yeah, exactly. If you could edit that out. There was a pronunciation appendix at the back of the book too, which, considering Aztec words, more than justifies the purchase. Oh my God. Anna, shut up. She's just looking out the window as other people are walking their dogs and barking at the dogs going by, which I appreciate the spirit. She's a great guard dog, but God damn it, super
Not
annoying.
now.
Not now. XP for human sacrifices could be morbid but interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely morbid and definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Look at that SJW font. Considered like that's a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Font seems fine. Is there a reason or reference for that comment?
I think this is talk. I had made a criticism of the font
Of the font.
on the character sheet.
Font bad, therefore social justice. It's woke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never apologize for your dog. Okay, I won't. Especially not to the property management.
I don't know what that meme or trend seemed to come out of nowhere. Then again, as most internet trends do.
It's check out the Know Your Meme article on it. It's pretty funny. Like there's a video, one of these girls who's doing this where she like breaks character and is like yelling at someone and then just immediately comes back. She's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Ice cream so good, just like instantaneously back, like locked in. I will cover the Dark Souls RPG most likely next week. Nice.
Excellent.
There is also no normal life in Dark Souls. That's true.
Yeah.
Basic Expert, how many different groups did you hand your betas to before deciding to publish? I think that means beta.
Like beta testing.
Yeah.
Like play testing.
Not literal betas.
Hopefully
there could be a chance that you could not even wait 4 days. That doing so would still mean misfortune for you. Yeah. No matter what, you get a bad day.
Yeah.
The font is Futura, which was what was used in OD&D and AD&D first edition. So it's just
that's what I suspected. It's harkening back to the Whitebox or OD&D era.
Little homage to the OD&D and the 3 LBBs, which is just which this is based on. And we are caught up.
Nice.
The Basic Expert atmospheric font.
Excellent.
All right, so these are also
All right.
warriors. Respected as some of the Aztec army's finest warriors, Jaguar warriors possessed both martial skill and religious training. They served as shock troops, breaking enemy lines and causing chaos. To join their ranks, warriors had to capture 4 enemies for sacrifice, valuing precision over mere killing. That's awesome. Implicit
Yeah,
backstory there as well.
that's true. All of well, we've only looked at 2 classes, but that plus the cultural milieu we've sort of read about so far. This to me feels uh not so much dungeon crawling, but you as warriors or priests or what have you, we're going to see like a merchant, maybe not a merchant, but um, performing raids on other villages and
Mhm.
gathering captives for sacrifice.
Enjoying privileges, such as being, this is the merchant class,
Mm-hmm.
such as being exempt from taxes and tribute. Nice. Armed for
Nice.
protection, they were esteemed for bringing exotic treasures to the Tenochtitlan. I can't do it. I tried. Maintaining the empire's commerce network. However, their activities were scrutinized, accused of spying or engaging in illicit trade. To control them, the Aztec government imposed strict regulations and severe penalties for infractions. Female characters can also be merchants, as some women held prominent business roles in the empire.
And it looks like you're right so far in the attribute requirements. Like the merchant required an int of 9.
Right.
I saw.
The Nahuali were spiritual leaders and practitioners of magic. Nice. They were believed to have the power to shapeshift into animals or other forms, allowing them to communicate with and channel the energies of the spirit world. Nahuali were highly respected and often consulted by rulers and military leaders for their divination abilities and advice on matters of war and diplomacy. They also played an important role in performing rituals and ceremonies, including human sacrifice to appease the gods and maintain the balance of the universe. The Nahuali were viewed as essential intermediaries between the human and divine realms, and their power and influence extended beyond the realm of warfare to all aspects of Aztec life. The source of their
Very cool.
power was that of fasting, devotion to gods, and celibacy. So it's class imposed inceldom. Although I suppose to get there, you'd have to. It's more of a volcel thing because you'd have to be voluntarily becoming one of these guys. That sounds fucking rad.
Really cool. What I like about this, you have basically a priest class, and even in that one paragraph, you're getting a hint. You're getting an overview of how actually important a priest would be. How important you are consulted in matters of state, in matters of warfare, in matters of commerce, in all manner of life.
And this is something
as you should, as someone like that should be.
I really like, as opposed to some of the other old school games that I've looked at, is the like OSE is just, this is implied setting, and it's like you make your own basically within the confines of this, the kind of genre that it is, but it doesn't have the same kind of interest or flavor to it. It's there, like, this is literally just rules, I guess, which is not as appealing to me. This is a lot cooler because it has a very strong setting already. Even when we're just going through, like, okay, here's the description of the classes. Like, you're getting like actually a lot of information about how the Aztec society worked and like what the flavor and feel of the world is. I will say this is also very well written. This is very clear and interesting. So this is I'm liking this a lot so far.
Agreed.
I'm interested. I want to know what the magic is too.
Yeah,
that's going to be really fucking cool. Atomi Mercenary. The Atomi people were renowned for their skills as soldiers and warriors. They played a vital role as auxiliaries in the military campaigns of the Aztec Empire. Highly valued for their archery prowess and ability to navigate difficult terrain, the Atomi demonstrated bravery and a readiness to undertake dangerous missions. So I'm assuming this is sort of
requirements here. 15 strength and dex 12.
Battle Fury. Like the Jaguar Warrior, the Atomi Mercenary is able to make a number of attacks equal to his level against 1 hit dice or fewer foes. So that's kind of, I was going to say, because it's at Battle Fury, I was like, oh, we have the Barbarian, but this sounds more like the Fighter if it's getting multiple attacks.
I think the Barbarian in old OD&D had a similar. Well, I don't know if there was a barbarian, but I've been looking through Sword and Wizardry, and if I recall, the barbarian in that game also had basically the same mechanic.
So these guys, the next one, the Shorn one, were elite warriors known for their distinct hairstyles. So this actually, I think, is probably who, if you've seen Apocalypto, these are the guys who are chasing the dude through the woods the whole time.
Right.
Fierce and courageous, they wielded Macuahuitls, wooden clubs embedded with obsidian blades for devastating attacks. Legend attributed their lineage to the god Mixcoatl, granting them supernatural abilities. Highly respected in Aztec society, they enjoyed special privileges and exemption from certain obligations, but were bound by strict codes of honor. This is fucking cool.
Yeah, incredibly high, 15 and 16 plus attribute requirements. It's cool to see a warrior needing a charisma, a high charisma as well.
Similar to the paladin. I think you had to have a charisma of 16 or 17 to be a paladin back in the day.
Maybe so. I don't recall.
And that was with 3d6 down the line, not with all the various
all the
alternate systems that have come over time. Although even in AD&D in the DMG, there's alternatives for rolling stats, including 46 and all of that. But I like 3d6 down the line.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun because you can get, most of the time you get relatively average people, but you can get some really weird combinations. You can get really dog shit characters, which are a lot of fun to play, or
which we are going to do, or at least I'm going to do after we run through this. I'm going to on stream roll my Baldur's Gate stats down the line. Little palate cleanser. So this is one of the rare examples for me actually being interested in a weapons and armor and equipment section.
Yes.
I want all of these weapons, armor, tools to be unique and evocative. I want to understand what they are. So I actually do appreciate a detailed equipment.
Well, that's
section.
the thing is like there's nothing we are so familiar with things that are medieval inspired.
Right.
Or Western, or we're even more familiar with like because of the weebs with like Asian influenced things, but this is such a different, like just a very, very different setting than you're usually getting. Deadly weapon made from the Fracraria plant, capable of raining down stones on mid to long range targets. Blowguns, that's awesome. Yeah, this is really cool. Followers. These followers considered underlings can be hired by the player if they have surplus status points. The cost listed below represents the monthly status points expense for each follower. The number of followers and their morale rating depends on the character's charisma score.
That's interesting. I don't know if this is how it was in OD&D, but if I'm understanding this correctly, are you choosing to either spend your experience on either yourself or purchasing followers, basically?
Basically, I think so.
That's interesting. I don't know if that's a new invention or something that used to be done, but I do kind of
think it kind of is because in D&D, I think it was all like cost was all essentially gold. Like you had to pay your hirelings their wages. But this is literally costing your status.
Yeah.
Which means that which is great because in order to keep them, you have to keep going out and doing
keep
more
being brave
daring,
and doing heroic things. Yeah.
On
and that is the currency, how much of a storied warrior you are.
Right. Upon employing a follower, it's crucial to assess their loyalty towards the player character lead. The referee should roll 3d6, adjusting the roll by adding the player character's charisma score modifier and any applicable modifiers. Resulting total should be compared to the table below. Okay, and so this gives them morale bonuses.
Loyalty modifier. Yeah. Morale modifier, yeah.
They are containers of the divine essence. That's sick.
That's a cool picture.
We like this. Ripping, fucking cutting the heart out. Ooh, spells. Here we go.
Nice.
Let's check it on the chat. Oh, whoops. We've had this chat up the whole time. I'm stupid. Know Your Meme is one of the greatest academic resources in the world.
True.
Lol. It is. My one of my very good close friends is Meme Daddy over at Know Your Meme, and it is entirely the reason that Know Your Meme is it's known as one of the more objective like journalistic sites is entirely because of him. He's done an incredible job, and everything is neutral and basically just the facts. And they find it's just a gold mine. A lot of the negative background also have some cool positives. Yeah, I mean that's even if you get a totally negative background in a game, I find that to be a positive because I like that it's just adding something interesting and fun to the character.
Yeah, I always like choosing flaws or
me too.
drawbacks.
I really like it as well when I read it. Yeah,
same.
OD&D had no barbarian.
Yeah.
So fact check, Nick. You're wrong. The Atomi and the Shorn ones are special classes that are gate kept by higher attributes because they have extra stuff. Yeah, which is as it should be. And again, I like that. This whole thing of like everybody gets the same. This is one of the things that I've really come to dislike about the White Wolf games, even though I love those games, is that everybody gets the same number of points and attributes to distribute. And you do modify that with like freebie points and everything like that as you're building your character. But you end up with a lot less variety in the way that the stats come out because generally nobody wants to go lower than a 2 on a rating. And it's just, it's very, very samey the entire time. Whereas games like this, the random generation and just going with whatever, however the chips fall, I really, really like that a lot better.
Someone has to have made a what would you say, a redesign of the World of Darkness, the White Wolf products.
I'm sure there has. I mean, I know like people have done like D20 conversions, which wouldn't be my first choice for that. But it's people have definitely done that. I just think that system for the most part, and I'm really going to need to take a much closer look at the Chronicles of Darkness stuff because it was a dramatic improvement in my opinion over the previous vampire stuff. But it's like they just didn't consider anything with math. I think like none of it makes any sense. It doesn't do what it sets out to do. Oh, and for the tester question, all of my supporters, which is over 20 at this point, have access to it. I've been playtesting this all summer.
Excellent.
Yeah. I will definitely be playing this game. Weapons break in Macuahuitl. Players must carry extra obsidian blades to repair weapons.
That's cool.
That's fucking cool.
I like that.
Well, we had C1, the hidden shrine of Tamochan, long ago. That must be
an old module.
That's an old module, yeah. Lose status, lose followers. Sounds very cool. Yeah.
Definitely.
Status points are new because I couldn't do gold for XP.
Big improvement.
This sounds like the perfect game for murder hobos. I don't think it is. Because the murder hobos basically just
you can't murder them. You can't sacrifice them if you murder them.
Right. Yeah. You have to take the people captive to bring them back. And the other thing is you're not stealing their shit, you're stealing the people.
Right.
Like it's more like slaver hobos. But the murder hobo thing is more just that's a game where there's no restrictions and people are just playing complete psychopaths. And it's usually the result of a DM not giving them any sort of realistic consequences for their actions.
What's a result of people not role-playing?
Right.
Is the answer to that. I don't know.
Well, it's not just that, because you could be role-playing a character that's like that. But if the GM just, allows this to go on without the world responding to it, because I mean, literally, it's like, what happens if you just continue to murder hobo? It's like the world just turns into like this barren, like Ash World, where there's no like all the towns are empty, like people just run in fear from you.
Right.
But again, I'm doing the thing where I'm thinking through the consequences of what would happen. That just doesn't happen in the Murder Hobo game.
It does not
The
happen.
towns are always full of
the
people.
village resets.
Yeah. So it's a very dumb game. It's like in my Lion and Dragon game right now. The characters, it was sort of their fault through like second and third order consequences. You know, they let someone escape from a fight a couple sessions ago, and he came back with some buddies to try and murder them in the street, and then they ended up killing him, and then almost getting arrested, but killed the city guards too. So they're probably going to get hanged next session
almost
for murder.
Certainly.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Which
but
they definitely did and are guilty of.
Yeah. but at the same time, they've proven to be extremely resourceful. Like nobody's died yet. We've had like 4 or 5 sessions. There hasn't been a player character death yet. We might get a TPK via the executioner though. But yeah, it's like that murder hobo behavior only comes from the world not actually responding in a way that, you know, has some sense of reality to it. Gold is the years of the sun. Tears. Gold is the tears of the sun. Yeah. Or the blood of the sun in Within the Ring of Fire.
That is true.
That guy was looking for heart food. Yeah. Sacrifice hobos? Yeah.
There you go.
We've become so politically incorrect. Most have the sacrifices to please the gods. Must have the sacrifices to please the gods.
Must have more sacrifices.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is, or how historically accurate this is to the Aztec period. I would imagine it must have existed. Something that games like RuneQuest do a really good job of is actually having on your character sheet, each character's sheet, a ransom value based off of your renown, your social standing in the village or community that you live in. I would imagine that having continual raids by different villages, whether to acquire supplies or to acquire slaves, you would have families and clans attempting to ransom back individuals from being sacrificed or put to work as a slave. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, we got an answer here. Aztecs were ransomed. I should put something about a ransom value in. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
It seems like that's the main type of conflict that at least is jumping out to me.
Here's another question for Basic Expert. We hear of the Aztec Empire. Were there like competing large Aztec groups against one another, or was it kind of one large empire? Because my thing is, it's like, yeah, people might have been ransomed, but like if it's the giant empire, like as depicted in, you know, I know Apocalypto is fiction, but it did seem like this is one giant military society, ritualistic society that is going out to much smaller surrounding places and getting people.
If that's the case, there's likely no recourse.
Yeah, because it's like, what happens if I'm going to ransom you back to my village? It's like, oh, you're still alive? We'll just come get you too. You know, like need more blood.
Yep.
More Frogmen, old hammer style, just went on sale from Seder Arts Studio. Old hammer style.
I've never heard of that. Is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or what Seder Arts Studio is. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. All right, get into the magic. So it says down here, there was no clear distinction between the supernatural and the divine. The study of arcane arts as near scientific exploration rooted in intelligence and wisdom. I'm really hoping that there is like the use of psychedelics in the magic. That would be cool. The Nahuali's unique perception allows them to glimpse the different planes of existence, including the realms of gods above and below, which are intricately linked to the observable material world. While humanity often remains oblivious to this connection, sorcerers and Nahuali possess the ability to perceive and understand what remains hidden to other mortals. That's cool. Breath of the Sacred Cacao, Call of the Jungle Birds. Oh, this is going to be cool.
Yeah. That's another thing. I love spells with evocative
names.
Yeah. You know, Burning Hands is shit, even though that is what it is. But this is so much cooler.
Yeah. It's way cooler than Fireball.
Fireball.
If the character is pleased or displeased the gods, bonuses or penalties may be applied to the roll. For example, if the character recently killed a priest of Tlaloc, a penalty may be imposed. If the roll is uncertain, an additional roll is made, allowing for role playing as the character senses the god's mood. If the result is worse than uncertain, the requested spell is not granted. The petitioning process takes 2 hours, and if unsuccessful, the character can attempt another 2 hours with appropriate modifiers. Sacrifices and gestures, such as human or animal sacrifices or offerings of valuable items, can increase favor with the gods.
I like
Use the
that
table
a lot.
below. Yeah, this is awesome. To help the 2d6 reaction roll as a referee when a player character petitions the god for a spell. If the spell falls in the pure purview of the Trakena during which the petition is being made. Okay, so this is actually
it's like the time of the year.
This is linked to the calendar, and this is Basic Expert was talking about how he was using 1-to-1 time in his game basically to track the calendar of the game, which makes sense. This does seem like it would need good timekeeping. If the requested spell seems contradictory at odds with the current time, this will incur a -1 to the reaction roll. Lucky days, as explained in character creation, grant another +1. Unlucky days, -1. And offering a sacrifice allows 3d6 to be rolled. The 2d so as opposed to 2d6. Wow. Okay. The 2 dice that make for the best reaction roll are taken. That's actually really fucking cool.
Right. So the higher the number, the better the result on
the
spell result here.
Right.
Makes sense. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and I like that it is basically the favor of the gods that you're invoking. When a player character casts a spell, a reaction roll by the referee determines if the spell goes off without expending the spell slot. A roll of 11 or 12 grants a free casting of the spell as a favor from the gods. That's really cool too.
That's cool.
This is awesome.
Blood Curse of Tlaloc.
This powerful curse calls upon the dark and vengeful god of rain and lightning, Tlaloc, to afflict the target with a terrible curse. The caster must touch the target and draw a drop of their blood to be consumed during the casting of the spell as an attack roll. Once the curse is inflicted, the target suffers a permanent reduction of 2 points to their constitution score. Damn.
Nice.
Or 1d6 to max HP for NPCs who lack attribute scores. And their skin becomes mottled with dark blue markings that resemble raindrops. Additionally, the target becomes vulnerable to lightning damage, takes double damage from any lightning-based attacks. The curse can only be removed by a powerful ritual requiring the use of rare and expensive materials or by a deity willing to intervene on the target's behalf. Those cursed by Tlaloc are often shunned and feared by society, and their lives are... This is awesome because,
this is
again,
so cool.
to get rid of this, you have to go on a fucking adventure.
Yep. Even to cast this is maybe not an adventure in and of itself, although it could be if you're trying to curse a very powerful person, because you need to acquire a portion of their blood before you can cast this.
Right. Inflicts 1d6 -1 points of damage on a living creature and grants the caster temporary hit points equal to the amount of damage inflicted. Can only be cast once per day on the same creature. The spell draws on the Aztec tradition of bloodletting, using the caster's own blood, generally from the lip or tongue, as an offering to gain power and strength. The obsidian blade, a material used extensively by the Aztecs, is used to make a deep wound on the target. The resulting blood is then offered to the gods, and the caster gains temporary hit points as a result. This is sick.
Nice.
What's this one? Curse of Mictlan. Components: a bone or skull fragment, which is consumed during the casting of the spell. This spell causes a target to age rapidly and become feeble. This spell invokes the power of, not going to try it, the Aztec god of death and then the underworld. To curse a target with rapid aging and physical weakness. The caster designates a single target within 30 feet. Target's physical appearance immediately shows signs of aging, such as wrinkles and gray hair. Attributes are reduced by 1d6 points each. Damn. The curse is permanent and can only be lifted by a remove curse spell or similar magic. This is really sick.
A lot of these spells require blood or bone or pieces of human skin, which is very much in keeping with the milieu here. I love it.
Gaze of Quetzalcoatl, a feather from a Quetzal bird, which is held aloft during the casting of the spell. The spell allows the caster to see through the eyes of the mythical serpent god Quetzalcoatl. That's fucking rad. Gaining insights and information beyond mortal ken. The caster must hold a feather from a Quetzal bird aloft during the casting of the spell. Once cast, the caster's eyes are closed and they fall into a trance-like state, able to see and hear from any point within range as if they were physically present. The caster can choose to move their point of view to any location within range during the spell's duration, but their physical body remains in a trance-like state and is vulnerable to attack. The spell also allows the caster to understand any language spoken within range. However, the caster's senses are focused solely on what they can see and hear, and they are
That's so
unable to
cool.
take any other actions while this spell is in effect. Yeah.
It's a much more evocative scrying spell.
Yeah.
That's tied into the culture. It's given an attitude and a flavor, and it's great.
Ooh, this is cool. Fifth level spell. Okay, this will be pretty big. Summon. No, I tried. I tried mentally and it didn't come out. Description. This spell summons a powerful something from Aztec mythology to do the caster's bidding. The caster must have the obsidian figurine and the lit black candle to cast the spell. The summoned monster can attack with its claws for 2d6 damage. It will obey the caster's commands to the best of its ability for the duration of the spell. However, if the concentration is lost by the caster via being struck by an attack, the caster will lose control of it. It will then attack the caster. The caster can dismiss the demon before the spell ends. If the spell ends, it's sent back to the heavenly realm. It is said that they are fearsome star demons who once threatened to devour the world, and they are not to be trifled with. That's
Nice.
fucking rad. I love demons in games. Like summoning demons is so fucking rad.
Yeah, any kind of extra planar, if you want to use the term, or supernatural extra dimensional creature. It's just that they've become so sanitized and boring in typical D&D, because these things, all of them, even divine beings, should be awe-inspiring. Terrible in the true sense of that word.
Oh, this is great. So this is our XP table.
Okay.
Base XP for killing and defeating enemies. Capturing human enemies alive, base times 3. Rescuing captives from enemies. So, oh, that's cool. So if your friends get stolen and you get them back, conceiving a child, you must be married. Successfully raiding an enemy village, discovering a new source of precious materials, successfully performing or taking part in a sacrifice ritual. That is sick.
Yeah.
Successfully defending a city from attack, escaping capture from enemies, successfully raiding a large settlement or city, discovering a new place or new lands, or brokering an alliance with another city or tribe. That's a big one.
Yeah, 1200 status.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's important to bestow such rewards only for daring, brave, risky, or honorable actions where the character faces a genuine possibility of death or captured, followed by eventual sacrifice. Conversely, these rewards can be awarded as group bonuses when the entire party successfully completes a mission or adventure. However, it is advisable to make such SP wards infrequent and special in order to foster bravery among the player characters. It should be noted that captured foes, intended for future sacrifice in the city, contribute to a character's follower count. That's cool.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if
that's really cool, actually, because it's like your follower count. Followers, I'm assuming, are going to have will be different than like the hirelings, rather. And given that they're slaves, essentially, that's cool that you can basically buy them through conquest.
Another thing in looking at that basically an experience chart, I don't recall having seen this before. I like that. This is giving you specific actions in play that your character can do that are going to net you experience rewards. It gives you tangible actions, goals, and they imply a kind of a worldview and an attitude. Even, I don't know, you get experience points for role playing your flaw, or for good
Mhm.
role playing, or for I don't know, role playing something
It's
on your.
very general
It's
in
very
that.
general.
Yeah.
That's not. I'm not opposed to that, but this is a great way. I'm surprised I haven't seen this
Yeah.
before. This is like a great idea to include specific game actions that are going to accrue you experience points.
Right. They sort of do it's not like this at all, but in the second edition Chronicles of Darkness games, those do have sort of specific, they're less specific than this, but there are
Hmm.
specifics to how you get XP. That
Right.
is that's improved from first edition, but I really like this. And so this is, again, this is like contrasting this with the gold for XP thing, is that the gold for XP, like it's also like magical items that you gain and things like that grant XP. Um and it's a lot of times the treasure hoards are like rolled up randomly. And so it's tied to your dungeon delving, to your, you're going and plundering these tombs. But this is a lot more specific, and this really like, again, every single one of these is a specific kind of adventure. uh like
Yeah.
successfully raiding an enemy village, that is an entire session like worth of play basically.
Right. And this chart as a whole informs any character from this culture. All of these things are honorable
Right.
to one degree or another.
Right. And they're ranked in terms of how
Yes.
honorable they are.
Hmm.
um we should play this.
We will play this.
Yeah, this is cool. Timekeeping. Pine torches and some primitive lanterns that use pine resin are often the only source of light characters have at night or in the pitch black darkness of Mictlan's underworld and caves. These light sources provide a 20-foot radius of light. Pine torches will burn for 1 hour, 6 turns, while the primitive lanterns will burn for 4 hours and consume a unit of pine resin. Okay. Gaining power and influence. At level 9, characters may achieve enough renown and respect to acquire greater power, influence, and responsibilities, such as commanding and leading large armies, overseeing lands, villages, and even temples. Okay, so this is like getting into like domain play, basically.
Right. That's
Um,
what it. Yep. Small, large strongholds,
yeah,
temples.
which is actually something that like is very much. It might be in the 5th edition DMG. I'm not sure, but the domain play. The idea that like a fighter could progress and become a lord and advance in a way to which you're becoming like possibly a conquering royalty of some kind, that is cool. And I think that's something that has been missing from a lot of the new school fantasy games.
Right. Yeah. Right. But that kind of conquering hero, that can't exist in something like the Forgotten Realms, which is so.
I almost said something I
It's
shouldn't.
what's that?
I almost said something I
Oh.
shouldn't. I stopped myself.
But yeah, but
It's so
you're
what?
right. And something I would like to see in games more a greater page count.
Yeah.
Because again, we've mentioned this before as it pertains to low or high level play, even
Mhm.
outside of the domain play aspect. In your standard D&D game, you are switching genres. When you
Yes.
switch to domain play as well, you are switching genres. What you're
But
doing on a.
yeah.
Yeah,
But that's intentional on the part of the game design, is because I think they recognize because it's not just, it's not just the fighter with like their
yeah,
domain. It's like wizards, create their wizard
yeah,
towers, and like it start attracting people. Like they recognized that there was a shift, because you
right,
can't just continually become a more of a badass literal fighter because you
yeah,
step into the territory of becoming a demigod, and like
right.
the
No,
game. Yeah.
exactly. It's
um
good, but I feel like there isn't. Maybe I just haven't read it, but I feel like you need more material. Like it's almost a completely different game. The conflict
Yes.
resolution mechanic is going to be the same. You have the same stats and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the game basically is different, and you need more advice, rules, more advice than anything else, and evocative explanation as
Yeah,
to what you're getting up to.
I think a lot of times it's going to come down to like that's also at the point when you start making new characters that are
Right.
people who are probably like hirelings or servants of the person running the domain.
Right.
So you
Which is fine, but then why bother with any rules
well
at all?
you switch between them. I think it's a different kind of game, but it allows you to continue. It's like you could hire people then. You can play the characters that this lord is now hiring to continue to build up their wealth in their domain, and then you do the domain play. It's kind of like switching. It's just having a stable of characters. I actually really like it, like in concept. I've never done it.
Yeah,
it does sound kind of cool though, and
it could be cool.
It could be.
I'm
cool,
not convinced it's been done correctly yet.
It might have been. I mean, it's like I'm looking forward to Acts 2 because this is
right.
This is exactly his whole thing. Adventure, Conqueror, King. You know, you like going up through these essentially genre shifts and whatnot. All that to say that there's domain play in this game. Huge tangent. All right. So Basic Expert says the Aztec Empire consisted of the Triple City Alliance. The Confederacy, the other kingdoms existed who resisted the Aztecs. The Tlaxcala were the ones who allied with the Spanish. Okay. So there were competing factions then. So that would make sense that there would be ransoms.
Yeah.
Is this a source book or its own game? It is its own game. Yeah. Fully self-contained. Oldhammer is original Warhammer Fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay.
Got it.
I'll give you 35 sacrifices for my 4 Jaguar warriors. Cursing for killing priests is a great move. Yes, I agree. This has always been a superstition that crosses all centuries and cultures. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're doing something that is, you're literally killing someone that's been anointed by the god. They would hate you. You would definitely be pulling misfortune down on you. Were the Aztecs the ones that collapsed and then made a comeback 800 years later? It was a long time. Most civilizations never make a comeback. No, they don't. They transform or get absorbed by other civilizations. If they made a comeback, it didn't last. The conquistadors made sure of that. This is the way spells should be crafted. A deep reflection of the culture, escaping generic fantasy magics. Absolutely.
Agreed.
And generic fantasy magics, like, they make sense if they're, you know, like if they're actually inspired by something like the D&D stuff, very heavily influenced by pulp. And then some games have taken a stab at more authentic magical systems, like obviously like Pundit's games very much do that.
Right.
And in the style. So it's, yeah, no, I completely agree with this. And this magic is really, really cool. Read the Curse of Zipe Totek. Okay, we're going to do that right now. You know what I can do?
Control F.
Yep. Oh, that's just the list. Let's go to the next one. There we go. Requires a small piece of human skin, which is consumed during the casting of the spell. This spell calls upon the power of Zipe Totek, the Aztec god of spring, rebirth, and flayed skin, to curse the target with weakness and vulnerability. The caster chooses a target within range who must make a saving throw. On a failed save, the target is cursed with weakness and vulnerability to all damage for the duration of the spell. Whenever target takes damage, it takes an extra 1d6 of damage. Damn. Oh. Additionally, the target's strength score is reduced by 2 points while under the effects of the curse, or it attacks as a creature 2 hit dice lower than it really is. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the spell on success. God damn.
Yeah. It definitely pays for a
this is brutal.
your priests and sorcerers need to have slaves in tow. They are powerful components to be harvested immediately.
You'll like it. You're right.
Yes.
Love this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zipe Totek is the skinning ritual. Read that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we read, right?
Nice.
Or sorry, the flaying ritual. Maybe there is a different one.
Maybe there's another one?
I'm sure he'll let us know again, and we can roll back to it. This is the coolest game of 2023. It's I mean, so far
definitely up there.
Definitely up there. I mean, the only other games I haven't gotten any game that came out in 2023 other than this. So by default, yeah, it's the coolest.
Yeah, that's true.
But even if it wasn't, this is the coolest game I've read so far. This is the most genuinely original thing I've seen lately in the TTRPG space. Clearly a well thought out work of passion. Yeah, and
definitely
what compliment that is. If we could have a product that someone said was an original, that would be awesome.
That would be a success.
that would be the ideal success.
Absolutely.
So yeah, great compliment, man. And you're absolutely right. This is fucking rad. I personally love gold for XP, but it just wouldn't work in this. So I had to figure something else out. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't work thematically at all. Domain is still a work in progress for me. Needs tweaking. This would make an awesome teaching aid for high school kids, a way to teach in a visceral manner that there are real cultural differences and that they matter. Yeah. You'd probably get a more authentic look at Aztecs than what they would teach you as well. They skipped any domain play in core D&D 5e.
Unsurprising.
Okay. Yeah, not surprising. But again, it's I haven't read 5e.
No.
Death to War Party. Would you all want to do different games each session? Cyberpunk 1 week, Macuahuitl the following week? Maybe. The problem has been and is going to continue to be that we've had literally everyone involved in all of our games has been traveling like in successive weeks. And I'm going to have to go to 4 weddings in 4 or 5 weeks. So it's going to be a little hard to do that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is I've got my home game. We've got the Cyberpunk thing that's happening here and there. It's honestly, it's just balancing time between
it's all scheduling
everything. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it for like a particular period of time or for a particular reason, but I'm you agree, you know, the idea is you want to give a game enough space to have the characters grow and you really immerse yourself in them, which you can do in a one shot, but only to a certain degree. So I wouldn't be opposed to it if it really is the case that for the next X number of months we knew that. But again, like you said, that wouldn't help, because whether we play a different game every week or every other week, if no one's available for anything.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is the travel schedule. But I mean, eventually, if we didn't have jobs,
at least somewhat.
If we didn't have jobs,
that too.
We could do it that way.
Yeah.
Lol on the domain play thing. Play D&D until you're level 15, then convert your characters and play Burning Wheel.
Oh, God. Oh.
There is another.
I think there is another, like, Zipe Totek thing.
Oh, yeah. Another. Got it. This is college level. Highbrow sacrifices are required to read it.
Yes.
And hopefully you haven't had a curse put on you that reduces your intelligence for the remainder of the I appreciate the compliment, crap phone. I have gnarly imposter syndrome. I mean, I think everybody kind of has to have imposter syndrome unless you're like like a sociopath.
Yeah.
But it's almost never deserved. It's people who don't have it are generally very bad at what they do. People who have a very inflated sense of what they're doing. But at the same time, some people have a very inflated sense, and it's because they're good.
It's
Like
true.
there,
It's
but
case by case.
that's a edge case
Yeah.
in terms of people. Basic expert, those of unfamiliar with the culture would need a really good sighting book or some live play videos would be great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Setting book. That's what he's trying to say. Well,
Uh,
there is a setting section in this book that we will
mhm.
get to. Yep, there it is. There is a chapter on Aztec
Boom.
society that delves into the intricacies a bit more. It's a mix of a setting book and a game, which, in my opinion, is how games should be made.
Correct.
This is my problem that I'm facing with OSE, and I haven't really gone into it in depth. Is that it does lack a setting other than the implied setting, and I
Right.
don't like that. The thing is,
Yeah.
the thing that gets me excited to play a game is the setting, because that's what's sparking my imagination. That's the thing that makes me want to, like, oh, this is the field, this is the atmosphere, this is what we can
Mhm.
do and how we do it. And so I like a game that has the setting included.
Yeah. It more than anything else, it's a damnation of, the gestalt setting and genre of standard fantasy. The standard fantasy has not produced anything that has resonated, uh,
Yeah.
in, like, the broad unconsciousness so far.
Sigh. Now I have to buy it and read it.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, just get ready. There's going to be a Kickstarter, and you can
yep.
get the nice premium version, which is the best way to do it.
Mhm.
For OSE, their setting is Dolmenwood, I believe, but I think they're spinning that off into its own game as well. Okay, yeah, and I've seen that
Okay.
they have like modules. Like I had a YouTube short come up today where some guy was shitting on Ravenloft, even the old Ravenloft, because of the way that like rooms were described and whatnot. And then he showed uh, the kind of OSE equivalent module, which looked much cooler. Like the cover on it was really dope. And that is actually, I criticized sort of the art style in OSE, but let's see if I can get this to. Nope, it won't do it. But the cover art for OSE is on the rules tome is awesome. And pretty much all of their covers are really, really cool. I like them a lot. All right, let's jump back in.
Excellent.
And then we have something special after this. A game that we're probably not going to be super positive about that one of us acquired.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. Exploration rules. Okay. Random
Okay.
encounters. This is what I want to see. Okay, so we got different location types, and different people, and I'm assuming monsters
Creatures, people,
and
encounters.
creatures.
I'm curious
Yeah.
about the Men of the Second Sun. I wonder what that is. That'll probably be explained because I know it said what
Yeah,
this
he
world
was
is the world of the fourth sun.
right, and it was talking about it earlier with some of the different classes where it was tied in with that and their beliefs about, you know, the sun, like certain age being over
Uh-huh.
and whatnot. Settlements. Okay, cool. So we're getting all the different things. Discoveries while
Mhm.
exploring, and adventuring players may come across ancient and mysterious locations. The referee will roll 1d8 for each hex the players search in. The discovery range increases by 1 for each hex moved. For example, the first search in the first hex is on a roll of 1 on a 1d8 or on a d8. If a 1 is not rolled, the next search in the next hex has a range of 1 or 2. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
I
So it's
see.
getting
So
more
there's a
likely that you're going to find something.
right. I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I like that too. Discoverable locations. Awesome. Okay, so we got a whole list of stuff. Damn. There's a whole
A
lot of
lot.
locations. This is awesome. Legendary lost city of gold or treasure, ancient battleground with preserved war machines,
That's
enchanted garden
cool.
with talking animals, necropolis with secret catacombs. Woo, there's a lot of these. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is great. These are
Ancient
storybooks. These are
astronomical observatory. This is fucking cool.
Ha.
Hidden grove of sacred trees. This is really cool.
Yeah.
I would So this would, I mean, obviously it would significantly add to the page count, but I would like a little like more detail on what each entry could include. That's one of the strengths of Dark Albion, is all of its random encounter tables. Each entry has like a whole thing on it that gives you like more stuff to even riff on. So that'd be cool. But that's also, how many tables is this? 4 times
There's
20,
a lot.
80 entries. Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah.
let's just double the page count. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, using wilderness as the dungeon. Getting lost in random encounter changes. Dungeons in the wild. Mictlan is the legendary.
Is the wilds.
Oh, is the wild. Is the legendary underworld believed to be the final resting place for those who died naturally. Warriors, typically the characters played by the players, prefer to die on the battlefield. While undertaking journeys through Mictlan is possible, most warriors would likely avoid such endeavors. According to Aztec beliefs, caves, cenotes, is that how you say it? I don't know, and other locations serve as entrances to the womb of the earth and Mictlan. Adventurers primarily focus on wilderness exploration, encounters with enemy warriors, and occasional encounters with monsters. Referees should treat the jungles and wilderness as the dungeon itself. That could be a cool thing, though. If you got like, if you had to, I'm just thinking of different adventures, but it's like if you were surprised by a superior force and you're like trying to escape them and hiding them, it's like, would you find a cave? Yeah. Would you risk going into the underworld?
Yeah, that's a great high drama scene.
NPC generation. Oh, love it. I love name tables. Thank you so much. Could you also give us a random pronoun table? If we could throw that in there, that'd be really great. Yep, I love this. I love randomly generated NPCs. Their attitudes. This is great. Like this a lot too. Combat. Okay,
combat rules here.
Reaction rolls. When a player comes across monsters or enemies, a reaction roll may be necessary. Mindless foes will attack without a roll. If a roll is required, refer to the table and adjust the roll by the charisma score modifier of the lead character. 2d6, pretty standard. Declare actions. Referee proceeds to determine initiative by rolling a d6 for each side. However, a player may roll the player's side. The side with the higher roll acts first, while the side with the lower roll acts second. In the case of tied rolls, actions are considered simultaneously, allowing characters or monsters to make their attacks even if they are slain, as everything is happening simultaneously. Initiative is re-rolled every combat round. Yeah, so I actually did use simultaneous, just that chaotic method where it wasn't even side initiative in my last session, but we did away with initiative entirely and just everybody rolled attacks and damage all at once. And it made combat so much faster. Oh my God. It was so nice. What happens on a side's turn in combat? Order of actions is straightforward. First, any ready spells are cast. Preparing a combat focus spell. Next, missile attacks, then melee.
Right.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, this makes sense. Losing initiative side goes next using the same phases for action. Of course, if the opposing side, like if you have a spell ready and you die, it doesn't go off. Attack rolls. Okay, so we got our attack matrices. Damage is determined by rolling a d6, similar to the original rules. However, some weapons may have modifiers to the d6, adding a variety to the damage inflicted. What sets Macuahuitl apart is the concept of exploding dice, which we love exploding dice. When maximum damage is rolled, the attacker can roll the dice again. If they roll another maximum, they can continue to roll until maximum damage is no longer achieved. This reflects the harsh and unpredictable nature of combat, where even the most skilled fighter can fall victim to a lucky strike. Exactly. I fucking love it. This is one of the things that we loved so much about within the Ring of Fire is the exploding eights and how if you continued to exceed the target number to hit the enemy, it was just point after point after point of damage being added. And so you could it could be very, very lethal. I love exploding dice. Additionally, characters have the option to choose non-lethal damage. This must be declared before rolling initiative and incurs a -2 penalty to the attack roll. If this attack reduces the target to zero, the target to 0 hit points, they are rendered unconscious instead of being killed. The unconscious foe will regain consciousness after 1d6. Okay, so not
Which is
death at
important
0.
if you are taking slaves.
Yes. Invisible enemies. That would pose a challenge. Invisible enemies pose a challenge for players. -4 penalty to the attack roll when trying to hit it. Important to note that certain monsters and enemies, particularly those with 6 hit dice or more, have the ability to detect invisible creatures. The extent of this detection ability should be determined by the referee based on the specific situation at hand. Bind wounds. What is this? Macuahuitl is a challenging and gritty game with limited magic. However, some groups may prefer a slightly easier healing mechanic. Nope. But the good thing is, this is the optional rule. The default is the deadly rule. To accommodate this, characters can heal 1d6 points of damage after each combat encounter. It's important to note that this healing can only apply to damage incurred during the concluded combat, cannot be used to heal damage from previous encounters. Yeah.
Bandaging, you're binding wounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's first aid.
Morale rolls. We love morale. Saving throws. Macuahuitl diverges from the traditional saving throw matrix found in other old school games. In this game, each character has a single saving throw number. Thank you. I hate multiple saves.
Yeah.
Complemented by bonuses that apply to specific situations where a saving throw is required. All saving throws are resolved by rolling a 1d20.
Nice.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
I love that quote or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that art.
Here no one fears to die in war. This is our glory. This is your command, O giver of life.
Love it.
This is also great, like, because the entire game, like the culture, like everything is telling you also that character death should be expected and is awesome and can be glorious.
Yeah.
And that, like, people should not, the fear of death is probably there to an extent, but it's about daring, courage, and doing things, going and acting.
Yeah, dying
courage.
a glorious death, having an exalted, I don't know what the theology is, but having some exalted position in the afterlife, the favor of the gods.
The mechanics of Macuahuitl will be familiar to most players, but the setting will be a unique experience. Big true. Yep. The Aztecs had a culture distinct from modern society in the typical European fantasy settings. The alien nature of the Mesoamerican environment is a major appeal of the game, correct. While the setting may require some explanation and may not suit everyone's taste, it offers intriguing and abundant adventure opportunities for both players and a creative referee. It is important to understand that the Mexica culture is deeply rooted in warfare, valuing death in battle as honorable, exactly what I was just saying, and capturing captives for sacrifice as heroic, ensuring the harmony of the universe. And that's the other cool thing about this, because it was explained earlier. I don't remember if I read it fully, but it was in the alignment section.
Right, you're doing these things to preserve
and to allow others to live. So it's like, if you're not doing these sacrifices, then the world falls apart.
Yep.
Yeah. The society adheres to strict social structures, and military service was the primary means for a peasant to rise above commoner status. Origin of the Aztec people.
This is like the creation story.
Yeah, this is awesome. According to Aztec beliefs, the world went through a series of ages, each associated with a different element: earth, water, fire, and wind. These ages were marked by the dominance of different suns, created through the sacrifice of gods and the use of sacred fire. The conflicts between the gods, particularly the Quetzalcoatl and the Black I'm going to try it.
Tezcatlipoca.
Yep, there we go. Played a significant role in the creation and destruction of each age. The concept of duality was embodied by the eternal god Ometeotl, who was composed of two separate gods in union. Ometeotl gave birth to 4 sons, representing the 4 cardinal directions. Quetzalcoatl presided over the west and was associated with wind, fertility, and life. Huitzilopochtli ruled over the south and was the god of war. Zipetotec governed the east and was associated with goldsmiths, agricultural renewal, and spring.
And flaying.
Which
we remember.
Yeah. And removing people's flesh. Provided over the north as a god of sorcerers and rulers. They decided to create a world populated with humans. Omateotl, however, remained distant and uninvolved in human affairs, leaving his children as intermediaries between humans and the divine. The Aztecs believed that the actions and influence of these gods shaped the destinies of humanity, while Omateotl himself remained disinterested in human affairs. Okay, so we got the different sons. I don't want to read the entire thing to everybody.
Right.
As much as I do want to read the entire thing right
Yeah.
now. But this is fucking cool, though. They used 2 calendars. Solar calendar with 365 days and the sacred calendar with 260 days. During the character creation, players have already engaged with the sacred calendar. The solar calendar was employed for agricultural and seasonal purposes, while the sacred calendar held religious and ceremonial significance. Okay. Operates on a cyclical system. Festivals.
This is cool. Festivals.
Yeah.
Holy days and festivals and celebrations, holidays are such a crucial part of the pre-modern human experience throughout all cultures, and they're completely overlooked in like all tabletop role-playing games. Even if your Dale Reckoning calendar has a nominal day to whatever, nobody ever gives any spotlight to that, and it's a real shame.
Agreed. Aztecs' practice of human sacrifice is a well-known aspect of their civilization, characterized by violent and bloody rituals. While this practice cannot be justified, it is important to understand the context and beliefs surrounding it. The Aztecs viewed sacrifice as a religious and spiritual necessity, believing that offering blood to the gods was crucial for the sun to rise and for life to endure. However, sacrifices were not randomly or recklessly conducted. Typically, sacrifices involved captured warriors or specially chosen individuals who would impersonate a god for the ritual. That's cool. I didn't know that. These individuals were considered honored to be selected and were prepared for the occasion through ritual bathing and dressing to resemble the deity they were sacrificed to. Alongside human sacrifices, offerings of paper, flowers, and incense were presented to the gods. The specific method of sacrifice varied depending on the deity being worshipped and could involve the removal of the heart from the chest, gladiatorial combat, decapitation, or sacrifice by arrows. Following the sacrifice, additional rituals might be performed, such as burying the body, or in certain cases, reserved for the elite priestly class, the consumption of the victim's flesh. The Aztecs believed that these sacrifices were necessary to prevent the universe from descending into chaotic destruction and to ensure the survival of their people. And then we have a picture of the heads on spikes.
Of some exalted figures.
Yeah. Types of human sacrifices, Aztec gods, which is going to be important.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Damn, there's a lot. Yeah. The 13 heavens. According to the Aztec mythology, the universe was divided into 13 heavens, each ruled by a different deity. These heavens were believed to be the final resting place for the souls of the dead. I do like that. Let's check in on the chat. It's been a while.
Yep.
Where's our oh, damn it. I lost my place because I unpinned the comment. Let's see here. Did they scalp people, or was that a relatively recent thing? Expert says, I don't think they scalped, but I'm not sure. We got more questions. Did warriors get any kind of major totem for the slaves, sacrifices they brought in? Badge or totem, excuse me. That's interesting. If it was recent, I wonder what caused the shift. Not sure about that. They noted in some way, but nothing came across in my research. Generally, I think the actions had to be seen. Their war suits often portrayed feathers or other things. I remember as well as colors and decorations that would signify class. Hey, 28 millimeter. How's it going, man?
Yes, indeed.
This is basic. Yes, it is. Basic Experts game, Macuahuitl. In the description, exactly. How do you pronounce half those names? Beyond
there's a handy pronunciation guide.
Yeah, there's a pronunciation guide at the beginning of the book that we did not go through. So we can't, not in a position. Ooh, oh, I love this picture.
Yeah.
That's a sick mask. Houses of
I
the
like the I
Dead.
like the idea of different afterlives. That's
Yeah,
really
me too.
cool. Yeah.
Okay, so these are the various afterlives. That's cool.
Yeah.
Social class, women, Aztec law. It's a
All the
warrior
stuff you really
culture.
need to know
Yeah.
and is crucial to have included, so great to see it.
Yeah, this is awesome. Again, this is why I prefer this to OSE, is because this is all the stuff that I love. Military campaigns and supply, economics and trade, which I'm sure is actually going to be pretty well thought out because Basic Expert is a fan of Rothbard, so actually knows a thing or two about trade. Timeline of events. Oh, cool. Love this. I love having a
Oh,
timeline of
yeah.
things happening in the world that your characters can either be caught up in or things just kind of happening and changing as the calendar advances.
Is this a I didn't catch the top. Is that a previous timeline or a future timeline? I guess
Following
you
is a
can
list
set
of
the game at any time, so
yeah major events that occurred when the Aztec people left Aztlan and settled in the Valley of Mexico. Referees can use this timeline to decide where in the history of the Mexican people the campaign should take place. Yeah.
Okay, so you can set it wherever. Yeah, love
Yeah,
it.
so it gives you about 300 years, it looks like. List of emperors, major cities, perfect. Love having some geography. Let me just get rid of that so I can see. 177 pages.
It's a
Yeah, this is
lot.
great. Yeah, this
Love
is
it.
awesome.
Enemies.
Okay, so these are the kingdoms he mentioned in chat.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool. I like
very
that.
cool hex map.
I would love
awesome.
if this will be available for download as a single.
Oh yeah,
image.
that would be great. Have the maps as a separate thing. In addition, obviously, to being in the book, but as a downloadable resources, that would be great.
It looks like a gigantic map, which is awesome. I mean, I guess it has to be, right? It's
Mexico,
a hex map.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's Mexico, and it's every piece has to be big enough for you to discern the hexes.
Yeah. Herbalism and medicine.
Ooh, I like this.
I wonder if we'll have ayahuasca.
Some psychedelics.
Yeah. Peyote. There we go.
There you are.
Like, this game's great. How do I get high in it?
More importantly,
onion. There we go. That's cool.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Some priest entering the spirit world.
Yeah.
Or communing with the spirits.
Tripping balls.
Yeah.
And entering the spirit world, one and the same.
All at the same time.
Monsters. Love this. Because we're going to have, I'm sure, some interesting Aztec monsters that we have never heard of before. When followers of the descriptions of monsters and potential foes in alphabetical order, referees are free to increase the hit dice of the enemies in order to change the difficulty of the creature, warrior, or monster encountered. Rules for this are given at the end of the chapter.
Nice.
Giant centipede. Giant coati. Is a fearsome creature found in the Valley of Mexico belonging to the raccoon family. Despite usually keeping to itself, it becomes a fierce fighter when threatened, towering over bears in size and possessing immense strength. Damn. Roaming the hidden depths of the valley, the giant coati or coati, I'm not sure, utilizes its sharp claws and powerful limbs to overcome obstacles in its path. Legends speak of its role as a guardian, protecting sacred treasures hidden from the ancient temples. Giant crocodile. Jaguar, rattlesnake. I love that the art style
It's all like the I don't know what the terminology is for that, but I'm going to say
Like
hieroglyphics
the
for lack of a
glyphs,
better
yeah.
term. Yeah,
Giant tarantula, no thank
that's
you.
cool.
Humans, who are the best monsters.
Yes.
And we got the class
Right.
versions. Huh,
Oh,
that's
so
fucking
that
rad.
I wonder if that is that a Quati? Maybe not. I don't know. Oh no, it's probably one of these things that's
Yeah.
gonna.
The following are monsters of myth and legend. They haunt the jungles and ancient ruins of the civilization that thrived under the
Oh,
previous suns. The creatures can also be guarding treasure and loot within ruins and the jungle if the referee desires.
yeah, it's that thing. The
Yeah.
Aquazotl drowning drowning people.
It's a legendary creature from Aztec mythology that was believed to inhabit bodies of water, such as lakes, rivers, and canals. This creature was described as having a body similar to that of an otter, but with longer arms and hands that had sharp claws. It also had a long, prehensile tail that could be used to grab its prey. Some say that the tail had an extra hand on the end. It was known for its vicious and malevolent nature and was said to attack and kill humans who ventured too close to its territory. According to legend, the Ahuizotl would drag its victims underwater and drown them before devouring their eyes, nails, and teeth.
Metal as hell.
Yeah, a creature grabbed by the tail would be given a save to break free. Otherwise, the victim would be dragged into the water and drowned in 1d6 rounds. The Ahuizotl can only be damaged by magical weapons and sorcery. It is immune to the spell Floral Charm of Xochiquetzal. The monster takes no damage from water-based attacks and spells. Despite its fearsome reputation, it was also revered by some as a guardian of the waterways and a protector of aquatic life. In some accounts, it was said to have a special relationship with the god Tlaloc, who was associated with rain, water, and fertility. God damn.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's a cryptid.
Yeah.
They're larger than a man at 9 feet tall. They're violent and dislike humans. They sometimes wield weapons and have generally violent natures when anyone crosses their domains. This is cool. Oh, whoops. Clicking on stuff I shouldn't. God damn, what the fuck is this thing?
Oh, so that's the thing you need an idol of, an obsidian idol of for that spell.
Oh, yeah, to summon it.
The Zimitzli or
Yeah, these spirits were said to have died during childbirth or while pregnant and were therefore considered to be a type of demigoddess or divine being. They were known for their power and influence and believed to be able to influence the lives of a living in a variety of ways. They were often associated with fertility and childbirth and sometimes called upon to assist women in labor. However, they were also feared and revered for their ability to cause illness and death. This is done through level drain via the claw attack. A save is allowed. A creature drained of all levels through the touch of the monster is slain. They were said to roam the earth at night, preying on unsuspecting humans and causing mischief and chaos wherever they went. They're equivalent to to
a level 4 spellcaster.
Yeah. It can go invisible at will, but cannot attack while doing so. Spells can be cast while they're invisible, and it can only be struck by magical weapons and spells. Yeah, I really like the when monsters can only be hurt by magic.
Yeah,
or
in
magical weapons.
certain materials or certain means that you need to prepare for.
Yeah, because it makes them a lot more interesting and a lot scarier and more deadly.
Yeah.
And it makes them more rare.
Oh, that's cool. A
Yeah.
giant getting felled by a war band.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Dude, good job. This is a fucking rad game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's this one? It's like
what's that guy? He's got
chocolate cup
cup
snake. The Zika Kotl is a legendary. I'm probably saying every fucking one of these so wrong. Is a legendary water snake from Aztec mythology that inhabited Lake Texcoco and surrounding waterways. Its name, which means chocolate cup snake, in Nahuatl, comes from the unique protrusion on its back that resembles a small ceramic vessel. According to legend, it would use this growth to lure humans into the water. This ability can be used once per day, much like the spell Floral Charm of whatever that is, causing them to drown. Often this drowning was helped by its ability to constrict and drag individuals under. The snake's constriction attack deal 1d6 plus 2 points of damage per round. A victim may attempt to make a saving throw to escape. Damn. Treasure. Melee weapons.
They're all weapons.
Cursed weapon or armor.
Love cursed weapons and armor.
Yeah. Lightning damage, solar damage, poison damage.
Wow.
Example magical weapon effects. Okay, cool.
Yep, this is great examples.
Sacred calendar. Use the table below to mark off days on the sacred calendar. Okay. Cool.
Also would be good.
Yes, this would be great as a like a handout. A one sheet downloadable, so you could print this and just have
keep
them for
track
campaigns.
Yourself. Yep.
Yeah. Appendix B. Oh, we're at the end.
Oh, this is a
bibliography.
Appendices.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I love it when games include these, especially when they're drilling down on a particular setting or mythology. So
yeah,
much appreciated, this bibliography here.
Oh, a glossary. Thank you. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. That's it.
Cool.
God damn,
that's
dude.
Excellent. Well done, man.
Good game.
Yeah.
That is really cool. This is legit the first RPG I've seen in many years I don't want to house rule.
Nice.
This is cool, man.
Yeah.
John do his all his own art on this? Yes, he did. I think. I would assume so. I like watching his drawing vids. I've only seen, I think, a clip of one of them. It was a live stream with him and Vic. Aztecs did not scalp. So it's different tribe and tribes. I feel like I'm going to die a lot in this game. Yeah, I think you are. That's kind of
likely. Yeah, but hopefully you will die with glory.
Yeah, exactly. But that's kind of the feel of a lot of the old school games, and especially with like the exploding damage dice, you're definitely going to die. A lot of people are going to die.
Yeah.
2 or so pieces of art were public domain, but just because I thought they were so cool. Yeah. That's the best reason to put them in. Mm-hmm. Seriously, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to like actually read this in depth. But this is definitely a game that we're going to play.
For sure.
The aesthetic is great. The setting is awesome.
The writing is great.
Really cool. The writing is very, very good.
A setting which is and a philosophy which is incomprehensible in a lot of ways. Certainly on initial glance, did a really great job of making
sensibilities.
It digestible.
Yeah, especially actually explaining why they did human sacrifice and why it was not just like, well, just because we like violence.
Just because,
yeah.
No, it seemed like a good thing to do.
Yeah.
At the time.
Already love this. Absolutely.
Same.
Do more drawing videos. Yeah. 2 years of research. Damn. Yeah.
Well, the fruits are quite evident in the product.
This is really, really good. I can't wait for this. As soon as the Kickstarter goes, let us know.
Yes.
This is really, really cool. Oh, cool. Man. We're at about 2 hours. You want to keep going for a little while? I don't know if I want to look at Werewolf tonight, but I kind of don't want to spoil the good feeling of looking at a good game.
Maybe let's look at it next time.
Let's
do a deep dive on that. But what I do want to do, because we're going to be gaming on Saturday, I want to roll up my stats so everyone knows I'm honest in this.
Yeah. So we are.
I hope I get 3s down the line.
We're gonna be streaming Baldur's Gate 3 co-op starting Saturday. Nick and I. And Nick wants to actually roll his stats up and then assign them in game.
And if anyone has any suggestions as to what class I should play based on these stats or not,
Tiefling Bard.
Tiefling Bard.
Yeah.
As flamboyant and not heterosexual as possible.
I'm waiting for quotes. I need to hit some of them back up.
Ah. Nice. All right, here we go. His name is Nick Legit.
Backing this game. Absolutely, man. I got to jet, guys. Thanks a lot for looking at this.
No worries,
man.
man.
Well, thanks for sending it to us. This is fucking rad.
This is great.
we really like this. Have a good night, man.
Yep.
Yeah, Werewolf 5e just came out.
And as you may have intuited,
Nick is not impressed.
Not impressed. Not amused, not impressed. But we will be going through it. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this quick. Very easy. 3d6. Whoop, down the line. I'll keep that. That was a 1 on the die roll. That is 5. 5.
I don't even know if it's possible to have a 5 in these stats.
I don't think it is. If I have any extras, I'm just gonna assign them as I want.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got 5, 2, 3, 10. 10 dexterity. What's next? 5, 3, 4, 12. All right. Not well, the 5 is pretty rough. All right. 6, 4, 1, 11. 4, 3, and 1. 8. One more. Charisma. Is it going to be the dump stat?
Is it going to be 3?
Is it going to be 3? We can only hope it's a 3. Another 8. 4, 3, and 1 again. So we have a 5 strength, 10 dex, 12 con, 11 int, 8 wisdom, and an 8 charisma. So I am uniquely unqualified for all classes.
For Baldur's Gate. Yeah. I did those on Gary Gygax's day. Let's see. Full Metal Dragon says fantastic arc, but the werewolves get neutered. Must be talking about Werewolf 5e.
Yeah.
We'll start charting.
I'll say
we'll start charting odds on what dump stat is.
All right.
All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But this was a lot of fun. Stay tuned for Basic Experts Kickstarter.
Yes.
And definitely back it because this looks fucking rad. It is rad. I think we've shown that it's rad.
We've proven that.
Yeah, we have proven
objectively
it
and scientifically.
Yeah. So definitely keep following it. I really want to play this game now. Which is not always true of games that I buy. So that is high praise. So have a good night, guys. We will be, like I said, streaming Baldur's Gate Saturday afternoon. And then we will reconvene next week.
Indeed.
Right, take it easy.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.